I have just picked up Troy Bilt, free Troy Bilt number 6. Guy said it was in his way, come and get it. He also threw in a little air compressor, 3 water pumps. No, those didn't ride there, they were in the trunk. And this cart. I'm just thinking out loud, that'd make a good engine test run stand. But back to the mower. 17.5 Briggs. I guess we need to see if it'll run. Oh, and I've got some more Supercross tires. May have to put those on the back of this. Maybe do a pulley flop. I have Troy off the trailer. I've not done anything to it yet, but I've got some tires lined up. 22-inch Supercross knobbies or 18-inch Wondas. And I've got wheels ready to be painted. Got a little decision to make. It is the next day with the Troy and I've done absolutely nothing to it. I want to get those tires on there so bad, but hold on the tires. Let's make sure it runs first. Gas, battery, oil, probably clean the carburetor. Cross fingers. My first step, I'm gonna get this battery out. This one's been sitting for a while. The battery's from 311. Just pretend the battery lasted for 5 years. It's been sitting for at least 3 years. That's what I'm estimating. So I'm gonna rip this battery out. I'll be right back with you. Battery is now out. That'll go to the recycle center. I guess I'll go steal the battery out of Colonel Craftsman. See what happens. All right, ignore the wind noise. It's breezy today. I got a new battery, well, newer battery. This is an 18, went from 11 to an 18 battery. Parking brake is on. First turn of the key. Not good. I just wiggled the positive battery cable. You don't want to go around. There it went around. Let me get the gas can. And I've already checked the oil. Oil's good. Old, but good. I've got the gas can. The gas tank is looking clean. I'm gonna pour some in, we'll see what happens. I just popped open the air cleaner housing. I might better get the shop back over here before I pour all the gas in it. Might have been some rats making a nest. But there is some gas in the tank. We'll let that soak through the line, soak in the carburetor for a few minutes while I'm getting the shop back. I just did some vacuuming, put the air filter back together, put a little bit of gasoline in it. Let's see what happens. Now try it. Time for a carburetor cleaner. Pull this off the bottom of the carburetor and cut that plunger off. I don't need that. The carburetor's popped open. I see what the problem is. Crud. There's layers and layers of crud in here. Anyway, I'll get it all taken apart and cleaned up. Maybe then she'll run. The carburetor is ready to go back together. Everything's all clean. All the passages are open. I got a torch cleaning kit. I ran through all the little passages that were stopped up, and I run water through it, then I run air through it. As long as the water and air go through, you're good. So in just about 2 minutes, we'll have this back together. And the big reason it wouldn't start a while ago, this jet was stopped up. You can now see daylight through the jet. We're good to go. It's all back together, and that was less than 2 minutes. That was like a minute and a half. Ready to go get back on the motor and fire it up. Just got the carburetor back on, and I cleaned the cowling, gave it a little bit of a bath. I'm gonna hit the key and see what happens. It's supposed to run. running. I gotta fix that flat tire next, then we got four-wheel drive. And that is that pulley that wants to be flopped. I'm gonna clean all this deck stuff out of here. Don't need that. The front tire and wheel has been cleaned up and aired up. And if we look at the spindle, it's past time for some grease. I've not cleaned it. That's how it came out. It's time for some grease. And one thing I like about these Troy Bilts, they've actually got a grease fitting. That's pretty nice. And I like how these caps go on too. The front tire is now on, it's greased up, rolls good. If you compare that to the back tire, I think it's time to clean the rest of the machine. I pulled off the other front wheel, it looks just as dry. Just pull it off and that's what I've got. So I'm gonna clean up that wheel, we'll throw some grease in there. I might get some of this grass out of here. Looks like it was a dry place where they were mowing. Dry, dusty, sandy. Here's a before and after in the same shot. These wheels were super grimy. And here is Troy number 6 all cleaned up, parked beside my other Troy Bilt. We'll call this number 6, we'll call this Troy. And they both have the same engines. I think this one might have been garage kept a little bit more, 17.5. Same thing over here, 17.5. I'm not convinced that, I'm thinking that this is the newer of the two. I thought it was older, but now I'm thinking this one's older, that one's newer. What do you think? Which do you like best? And they're both exactly the same. The seats are slightly different and the hoods are different. Other than that, everything looks exactly the same, except for this one has a black frame, that one has a red frame. Other than that, they look exactly the same. I gotta go change out this seat. It's about to completely fall off. The old seat is now off. I gotta get this metal seat cleaned up, prettied up, and then bolted on. It might have been a little past time to get rid of that one. The seat and seat bracket both have a coat of primer. I gotta flip it over and do the other side, and then this gets to be army green, and that gets to be flat black. The seat is now green, it's dry, it's ready to go on to its new home on this flat black bracket. The seat is now on. All the bolts are tight. Tell me what you think. I love it. There's a couple turf tires off the Poulon. Let me know if you need a couple cut turf tires. Anyway, this seat, it might ride as good as the other one. It's not cushioned, but there is a spring here. There's springs down there. It's got double spring action. And when I was washing this, I was taking clay off the tires and I gave it a polish. It looks a lot better. I have just finished painting the wheels for Troy number 6. While those are drying, I'm gonna step over to Colonel Craftsman. This alarm used to be on the Poulon. When I broke the hood, I got the alarm off, recycled the hood. Anyway, on Colonel Craftsman, this goes to the deck switch, the motor deck switch, and it does nothing right now. In a few minutes, it's gonna work that alarm. The alarm is now wired up. It's time to test it. Pull that, turn this. It works. That's gonna scare the mess out of some people. I just got a mount under there somewhere. The mower alarm bracket is now in place. I just gotta bolt the thing on and wire it back up. Give me a minute. The mower alarm is now bolted on. It's wired up. Give it a little test. It works. And I have seen sirens mounted before on the front bumper, but I think that's gonna be too low. I wouldn't want the siren to go underwater. Anyway, next on the list, I've got a ammo can. I need to get 4 bolts, drill 4 holes. I'm thinking right there. That'll probably be tomorrow. I am right here with Colonel Craftsman, and I got a pulley flopping kit for Troy number 6. That's a belt, a bolt, a nut. That's a 1/4-inch bolt, 1 3/4 long with a self-locking nut. Before we do that, I've got a kit to mount the ammo can. And the wheels, I got them painted smoke gray, but I think I'm gonna go with hammered silver, just to be different from the other Troy. These wheels are now hammered silver. This is what the smoke gray looks like. That's on the inside. On the outside, hammered silver. set it off a little bit, make it different. The ammo can wants to go right there. I've got 2 holes punched in the bottom of the can that is marked on the fender. And now I'm going to take it over and paint the bottom so it's not rusting under there. The bottom of the ammo can is now dry. It's ready to mount. The 2 wheels are dry. They're ready to mount. I've got these Supercrosses. They're ready to be mounted. I think up first I'm going to put the ammo can in these 2 future holes, get it out of the way. Then I can use this space to mount those wheels. Tires and wheels. So I was out working on the mowers and the wife called. Somebody had hit her. I get to ride in a tow truck. I came and picked her up. Actually, she took the car. I'm going to ride with the tow guy. Can't drive this. The steering arm's broke. I am just getting back from town. Had to get the wrecked car towed home. Anyway, I just tightened up the 2 bolts to hold on the ammo can. Don't worry about them being silver. They'll be covered with tools, snacks, whatever. And if we go over to the wheels are ready to have the tires mounted. I might pull Colonel Craftsman out and put those in there right now. And now good news, the Supercrosses are on. They're aired up, they're shined up. First thing in the morning, they want to go on the mower. Gotta have a turf tire before shot. Now let's get those Supercrosses on. So the Supercross tires are actually 20 11x8s. I thought they were 22s. The turf tires are 20s. They should fit no problem, but I want to do a little measuring before. This is an 1.5 inch clearance, and the height from the ground to the back of the fenders, about 20 1/4. Let's see what they are after we put the Supercrosses on. Okay, the stock 20-inch turf tire is still on, and not all 20s are created equal. Yep. Somebody's got to learn how to measure better. When I measure the Supercrosses, they look like about 21 inches tall, and I'm okay with that. The turf tires, more like 18 inches tall, 18 and a half. Here's a good way to compare the 20-inch versus the 20-inch. I've got that one sitting on top of the old one. Is it under there somewhere? There it is. Anyway, I should get a 3/4 inch drill bit and drill out that hole, make it where it's a round hole, and then put these on the front. That'd be pretty cool. The stock wheel came off really easy. I just put a little coat of grease on there to prevent rust. How much did the stock one stick out versus how much do the new ones stick out? And now the knobbies are on the back. They fit, they look great. I need to take the front off and paint that hammered silver. Before we do that, let's do a little measuring. A little less than a 1/2 inch, about 3/8. And in the back, we went from 20 1/4 to about 22. Got a little lift out of the deal. Let me know what you think. And I think what I'm gonna do now, I'll put a couple little reflectors on the back. On the back, I've got these reflectors. I'm gonna cut them. I'm thinking like we did on the boy's blue Ghost. Here, let me show you that. He's got the red and the silver on there. I might do the red with a little less silver. Oh, and if you've not checked out Red ZZ02, he's got some cool stuff going on. The reflectors are now on. They wrap around the sides a little bit. And in the middle, I put a little cross, just like the one on John Deere, but the John Deere's is red. Speaking of red, it's about time for some touch-up paint. This is John's. John's cross is red. John didn't get white with reflectors, and John's is a little bit crooked, but it could also use some touch-up paint. And I gotta get this rear end fixed real soon. Now, if you were worried about the clearance being too close, it's fine. What's even closer, the lever that used to control the deck height, it's right there at the tire. I have to keep it on a lower setting if I leave it on there. I kind of like it looking stock, so I want it to stay on there. That's a good handle to hold on to. And it's not rubbing. It'll be fine. Good news and bad news, the Troy is coming along great. It's looking so good. I love the tires. I'm ready to go hit the mud with it. But as far as the pulley flop goes, I'm out of time for this week. I gotta get this video out by Saturday, and this is Friday. So to be continued. Next week, look forward to a pulley flopping on this Troy Bilt. Thanks for watching. Looks like the gas cap seal fell apart and is trying to stop it on my gas tank. Let me focus it for you. Almost looks like a peace sign in there. I'm gonna get that out before I put more gas in. Okay, that's better. Now let's put some gas in. I was on the way to the mud hole and I stopped to compare it to the other Troy. This one is the smoke gray wheels. That is the hammered silver. I like that hammered silver. There's a matching set of speed cross. One dirty, one clean. Let's go make these dirty. I'm gonna go in his exact same ruts and see how stuck I can get. He's pulley swapped and I'm not. It was doing so good. Just checked, it does a top speed of 4 miles an hour. Belt clips more in first than it does in seventh. Needs to be pulley flopped, needs a new belt. Steering is stiff, but it's a good start.